of set up with the Akali and the Jace ban. But you will get the Jinx pick here, I imagine, for Doggo in that bot side. You could also go for a strong jungler. A lot of like people have started to pivot to Volibear as kind of the premier jungler, just because of the early pressure he can give, and also the fact that he's a super strong duelist, so he can win off out a lot of the times in the 2v2. But looks like Viego actually going to be the pick here for BLG. I'm curious now if they are just going to last pick the top laner here for Breathe in this next rotation.
And we did see last time around, we got the early solo lane focus from BLG on the blue side. I wonder if we do get the mid lane at least picked up for LGD, keeping the bot side. But you would expect it to be bot lane focus here since the Jinx has already been shown. It is just the trade of junglers from last game, though, on the opposite sides. WeiWei taking the Viego this time, and the Volibear going to Quay.
Yeah, and I think you just take the Aphelios here for Eric if you want to kind of play more standard. Or maybe he's just like, nah, screw it. Last game, baby. I'm just going to pop off of the vein, baby. But
no, I was going to say, no way.
Look, let me have my hype, all right? I knew it was going to go to Aphelios, but you know what? A man can dream.
I appreciate
A man can
that.
dream of a different AD carry existing at any point.
I just want Jin back. Like, Jin made his debut early in the split, and he's just gone. He's just gone, all right? That's all I'm saying. I'm sad. But it is the Gnar locked in for Breathe into the Gwen matchup. So, nicely picked.
Yeah, it's not something that can do exceptionally well in the lane phase against Gwen, but certainly brings a lot to the team fighting into the later portion of the game. So we'll have to see. It ends up being a very scrappy matchup up there, but one that makes it quite exciting. Ban phase, though, support's being banned away here by BLG. The Rakan taken off the board. Maybe they just go for something like the Nautilus as well, things that compare well with this. And especially when I see like something like a Rakan, maybe even actually the Leona ban here, it's probably setting up for a TK pick here for Chris. Although, actually, sorry, that's banned away by BLG. So curious now to see what they're actually going to go for.
Oh, wow, the Thresh ban. So we still have the tried and trues on the board, Nautilus and Leona somehow making it through. As you know, feel like they've kind of joined the table as the support version of Jinx and Aphelios. Maybe we'll get our own arcane version of Leona and Nautilus. But it is the Vex and Ryze ban away by LGD, so that mid lane focus.
Yep, just trying to make sure that they can set up a pick here for YG, because you imagine the support pick is going to come through here. So Ryze, Vex, maybe they're looking at a LeBlanc pick, or maybe something like the Ahri as well here for YG. We'll have to see exactly what he wants to go for. We've seen like YG tend towards things like the Ahri and the Victor, but he was kind of obviously playing a bit more in the meta where those were kind of the standout picks. But there's Leona come through. Nautilus more than likely going to be the response here for JinJiao. And then it's just a question.
I don't want this. I said it, but I don't want it, Dagda. I don't want this. Come on, this could be our final game of the season. I don't want what we've seen all season long, but we'll get it anyway. So you know what? I don't get my say. Nautilus picked up for LGD. And LeBlanc, apparently. Just insta-locked in as well.
Okay, so it just looks like we're just going to get kind of a bog standard here. Ahri going to be the response here for FoFo. You got good pressure in that mid lane. Means that you're able to kind of like look to push and then to roam. That would be an interesting one. Oh, don't do it, FoFo. Don't do it. Ox was molding the last day that this was picked up. But yeah, looks like we're just going to go full Jinx and Azir. We're going for the late game. BLG, hands off the wheel. They don't care about it at all for another 25 minutes.
Do you remember, I think it was at the end of last split where we were seeing like the late game Azir in the LPL was actually the early game Azir, and we were getting like Azir solo kills and stuff early on. I think it's hilarious. I don't think we'll get that here. It's definitely the opt into the late game for BLG, but still interesting. And I always love to hear Ox malding, so I know I'll be getting a little bit of that in my back here.
Hey, I mean, it is always fun, but unfortunately, we're the ones who have to live with it today.
Ox malding or the Azir? Which
Ox
one?
malding.
Okay,
Ox malding.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we have to live with the Azir. It's not so fun. We have to see if LGD are going to be able to bring a little bit of the hurt in the early stages, though. Like, you definitely have options here as LGD. Like, you look up towards that top side, a super volatile matchup, especially if you can get the Gwen rolling in the early stages. Potential to try and set up with the LeBlanc here. Like, although Azir is very good at being able to kind of have lane control and keep safe because he's got the ability to kind of slide and glide his way out of things, you can still try and look for plays in that mid lane, especially with the Volibear there. So I think you have options here as LGD to try and make things a bit interesting. But for BLG, it's going to be very much a case of try and contain, protect, and stop anyone from kind of interacting with those lanes. Because as long as they're kind of doing their own thing, you should be winning.
And I want to go into what we saw last game, right? Some results-based analysis, because BLG themselves definitely didn't go for this same style of composition. They went for that early game prowess. And it worked out both ways for them. You saw them picking apart the big team fights in the later game. They were winning the early skirmishes as well. So now coming into this second game, it feels like they don't have the same proactivity early on, but they have that late game assurance that will get them there, that can secure them a final victory here in the final series for them as LGD versus BLG Game 2 kicks off.
Just keep my eyes on where WeiWei was, because I could see him kind of hovering around up here, maybe looking to see if he could get on towards Garvey. But yeah, I think in this early stages, you're looking at G trying to see if he can get control over this mid, see if Gui can try and help out with that, or Gui can try and help out with that. Garvey, this is such a volatile matchup in the top side. I really want to see LGD try and prioritize these solo laners.
Yeah, and that early focus will be important, right? We saw last time around both junglers kind of opting into the full clears themselves. We did have WeiWei actually on that proactive style early on, got the first ganks off, but it ended up being LGD and Quay who got the first blood in the top side as well. So maybe a little bit of difference this time around, see if the Viego keeps up that pressure or if Quay can have a lot of the same early game that WeiWei had last time, trying to keep his presence known and keep the tempo strong in LGD's favor, right? Because LGD, something that worked out for them really well last time was the objective control early on.
Yeah, and it kind of had some implications, although Eric
yeah, that's
already taking a bit of a rough trade.
On site right there.
Yeah.
Chris just instantly locks him down.
Yeah, I think the hardest part here for LGD is like you're losing push in bot side, you're losing push in mid. So trying to actually get control for these objectives is going to be pretty tough. That's why like a lot of this game is actually going to be on Quay to see if he's going to be able to get into these lanes and interact with them to try and win that priority in favor of LGD.
I will say, it does feel like a bit of a different beast with Crisp on the Leona this time. Those Zenith Blades connecting exactly when you want them to. See if JinJiao can have a bit of a response there on the re-engages. As we do still see both pathing up, at least Quay pathing up towards his top side, Wei pathing down towards his bottom side, still looking for a lot of that full clear potential. Obviously, Quay missing out on the Krugs just for that quicker clear towards the top side of the map. But I wonder where we'll get the first action, right? Because we were talking earlier on about where a lot of the focuses can be. I feel like BLG really have their options, but more so want to focus down towards Doggo on this Jinx. I think that'd be super huge for them. Whereas on LGD's side, right, it's about striking where the iron is hot. It's about a lot of these having a potential to carry, but where do you put those resources is the I guess end all be all.
Yeah, I mean, I think for BLG, just kind of sitting back again, like you can put some resource into Doggo if you want, but WeiWei trying to help out with Breathe is probably the best bet. But realistically, it's just a case of if you don't interact with the waves or the lanes, you're totally fine. LGD, again, I think it's like trying to move through these solo lanes is your best bet. If you're able to get Garvey leading the top side, it becomes a lot easier for you to move over towards things like the Rift Herald and that kind of stuff. And I think that's where you can try and like open up the game. Or maybe if you can start getting get a Rift Herald, then give that to Eric, try and get some pressure into this bot side. Maybe you can start to snowball that game effectively. But it is definitely a tough one. You are on a timer here as LGD with the composition that they have.
We do see the Scuttle Crabs being traded off. I believe that both junglers were spotted towards the bottom side, but I think at least WeiWei was spotted going across mid to that top side of the map. But it's that quiet early game so far. We do have an Infernal Dragon in about 50 seconds. We didn't get our first dragon until 9.5 minutes in last game, so a lot less of that dragon focus, but the Rift Herald focus was absolutely present for LGD last time around. And when we're looking at that, you know, still about 3.5 minutes out for that one, you're going to need to figure out what's going on at top side here. You're going to need to have Garvey at a place where he can actually get out of the lane.
Yeah, I don't know if Garvey is going to be like much of a like bot side player this game. I think at this stage it's just a case of like trying to see if you can enable him to a certain extent. Again, though, like, as we saw from the last game, quite not exactly the most active. Like, had lanes that he was able to play around, could have tried to do stuff. So, I hate to break it to you, but it does feel like we're going to be in for a little bit of a long haul. You know?
Well, you know, I'm all about the long hauls as long as we get the big fireworks in the end, right? You're on a trip. It's a long haul. You got hours in. Everybody's asking, when's the bathroom coming? How are we there yet? How much longer do we have? Doesn't matter. As long as at the end of the trip, there's a big fireworks display. That's all the kids want.
What airline are you on that gives you fireworks?
I'm not talking about airlines. Like, I'm talking about driving. I know in Ireland you don't get to drive that far, but in the U.S. we drive very far.
You can drive around the entire circumference of Ireland in like 3.5 hours. Like, we are not a big country. So, like, long haul only in my mind exists for like flying because there's just no other form of long haul.
Well,
wait, no, he's moving out to the boss side.
He's got the long haul going. He's got a flight going to bot lane, but Eric nicely flashes away. He has completely left JinJiao out to dry though. And Doggo, now excited, overextending a little bit. Quay's coming right there, right around the corner. You can't go into the jungle, not expecting the jaws of the bear.
Doggo tries to go forward, but it seemed like the rest of BLG weren't quite on the same page. They'd already backed away underneath the tower, so Doggo kind of gets left out to dry. And will be 1-4-1 with at least the kill going the way of Doggo before he goes down, which would definitely help out on this bottom lane.
I just love it with the Jinx. You get so hyphy, you're like, oh, I gotta kill. And right around the corner is somebody waiting to shut you down.
Yeah, you can see here, just pretty nice setup. Doggo and Crisp making sure that they're able to get good damage on towards Eric just as WeiWei comes down. So, we're back into life.
How's that? You got an engage from Quay, who takes a decent amount of damage, but gives it right back to WeiWei. FoFo and Crisp are here. Beautiful Emperor's Divide from FoFo separates them. The Zenith Blade on the back connects by Crisp, and JinJiao is dead too. Quick kills for BLG.
Swoop and boop on form for FoFo, just managing to pick up 2 of them, send them into the loving arms of BLG, and that was a flight that LGD didn't really want to take. And now BLG get Dragon, they're getting excited, and I thought we'd have a slow game from BLG, but they're reacting really well to what LGD are doing.
It's really quick and decisive too, and ruthless. It feels like that was a fight that was developing. You never know if they're actually going to pull forth, and FoFo says, we going.
Yeah, I mean, FoFo, again, just having a ton of presence in this mid lane means that he's able to get the party to move across. And we'll lose out a few minions in the mid lane, but it doesn't really matter. You have Crisp here to help set them up, and we're back again. Replay be damned.
We back. FoFo locked down. Doesn't go down. One auto attack from G will get the kill.
All right, nice job from LGD to get that back. JinJiao just moving up, having a nice roam timing there to try and set that one up. So kill going across the G. We'll give some options here again for LGD coming out of this mid lane, and it's just night timing as 8 minutes on the clock. Rift Tower has spawned, and Garvey still having good pressure against Breathe in his top side, can't come down too hard.
They want to fight this though. Come on, I know you want to, BLG. You want to fight it. I know you do. WeiWei is right around the corner. You got Breathe coming down as well. He's almost got Mega Gnar. It is a 4v3 though, and it looks like LGD will be able to secure this Rift Tower. Rocket, not enough to get it. You know what? It's fine. I respect the respect from BLG.
Yeah, I mean, FoFo not in a position to really do anything, so they will, in fact, just have FoFo shove in mid, get a play for himself, because, yeah, G is resetting with no teleport available. So, at the moment, you're looking at an ever so slight go lead once more for BLG. Again, we're seeing these, like, CS advantages open up in mid and bot, but we're just going to get LGD here. JinJiao, lovely roam. Hex flash over the wall, just playing super well around the existing wards that were there. And FoFo, I appreciate the effort, but yeah, like, one, you don't ever dodge a Nautilus hook. That thing is way too large. And two, that's the silly dance you end up doing when you think you can, oh, maybe I can dodge it, maybe I can outplay it. It's just like they're walking at you menacely. That's what Blitzcranks do.
You serpentine so hard that you don't move. Like that. Yeah. I found myself in that position so many times, and it's a wonderful thing. But you know, you're thinking to yourself, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna go this way. It turns out you're not moving on the screen, and they can just get you right out of the way. So nicely pulled, nicely at least trigger pulled by JinJiao there to make sure they can get something back for themselves, it is the second kill for LGD, and at least getting Yaji and this mid lane something to hold on to.
I have to see though, as LGD, the marching band on their way to this bottom side. Yeah, G is pushing mid, so starting to see if they can try and take over in this bottom side jungle.
They're a marching band.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a single marching band.
Oh no. Okay,
So
wrong question
you have
to ask.
landed me in this.
Apparently it was the wrong question for LGD to ask too, because JinJiao just gets killed and BLG don't like the music. They say there's no marching bands here. We have a noise disturbance from LGD and they're put down.
I mean, LGD, I think, walked over every word that existed for BLG on the
they're
map.
a marching band. You can't be sneaky.
That is true. That is true. But it does mean that BLG are able to react incredibly well and get themselves set up, get the kills now, 5-2 on the score. You're getting plates in this bottom side. You're getting more kills going over in favor of WeiWei as well. This is all coming up clutch for BLG.
How bad does it feel to be 3 levels down on your ADC for Chris? He's not even level 6 yet. Hasn't gotten the solar flare. Doggo's feeling just fine. Gets another plate for BLG bot lane.
You're just going to see in the replay here, like, they walked over so many wards. No one using the sweeper, so don't realize they've been spotted. Think they've got pressure on this bot side to try and go for this, but, I mean, that wave hasn't hit the tower just yet. Yeji hasn't moved over either, so FoFo is in position to just set this up wonderfully.
It's kind of funny to see that initial Scryer's Bloom tick, because both of them went for the attack, but both in opposite ways, so you wonder what could have happened if they would have seen WeiWei coming down the jungle there, if Quay got his at least attack off on it, but did not happen. Did see a little bit of trading on the top side, but BLG fine and dandy at this point, 3K in the lead. They do have a Rift Herald being summoned in mid lane, put a little pressure on them. There won't be much.
I mean, it will get some turret plates, but again, this tower will survive. And that's all you really need here is BLG. Especially when you're looking at, like, the composition that they have. The fact they have 3 kills is going to accelerate them so much. The whole breaker already for Breathe in that top lane as well is going to make this matchup so much more difficult for Garvey. And for BLG, that's just, okay, cool, Breathe is fine. We can continue to focus on our mid and bot. Dragon in 10 seconds. The Rift Tail priority did absolutely nothing for LGD. So BLG will be like, cool, we kill the big purple thing in our mid lane, and then we go and kill the brown thing in the river.
Yep. Yep. You know, I had something else to say to that, but I'm not going to say it. Eric, it's some trouble down here. The Doggo does not get the connection on Eric. Did have to burn the flash.
I think you're kind of out of your depth here, LGD. WeiWei will spot Quay.
Ooh, in some trouble is Quay. He is just outright out of there. And the kill goes down over to WeiWei.
Look, why kill dragons when you can kill bears, you know?
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
easier, the meat's not as tough, it's not as difficult to get through the scales. It just makes sense, you know? So, BLG, economically sound here. You know, sound of mind, it's all coming together here for BLG.
It is, and what a time for it to do so right at the end of the season. Talking about those communication issues, seeing it all come together. Meanwhile, WeiWei coming down here to defend Crisp a little bit. Crisp going right back in, though. It's an engaged party, and BLG are destroyed by Yaji.
Yeah, and that's the economic crash. BLG there went that bit too far forward, got a bit greedy, saw them CLOs and were like, you know what, I want a bit of that. Not realizing where they're going to end up. So now BLG gives some good shutdowns back across. Still a 3,000 gold lead for BLG, but Eric will be able to get some plates and kind of get himself into a better position, because you can see the item discrepancy between the AD carries there, the Gale Force and the Zeal, to an uncompleted first item. But WeiWei just about spotting out Quay here, and then even with the shield, just being able to have that challenging smite tick him down.
Yep, the burn is a little bit too much, and then BLG caught down here in the bottom lane. Chris getting a little bit of the JinJiao treatment there on the Zenith blades.
Yeah, just a bit unfortunate. Thought they might have been able to get JinJiao, but nice job for him to be able to turn around. That ult just means that you're CC for so damn long. And now, once more, LGD back in their own jungle. Kind of been a bit, I say manners have been put on them a little bit now, with so many failed attempts to try and get in and pressure through the early stages into the jungle of BLG. You've even got the Rift Herald now, which is up, but BLG not really interested in that. They're like, hey, look, we can just leave Doggo to take bot turret. We can also put pressure in mid. And if LGD respond, like with Eric here, all right, then we can start to rotate the group up and see if we can look for it.
I really like this map play coming out from BLG, right? Like Doggo just staying in bot lane, but having the confidence that he's backed up by his team to keep pressuring Eric under a tier 2 tower where Doggo's already 2,000 gold up. Like, you've got to put a stop to this bleeding here for LGD, and you've got to put a stop to Doggo.
Yeah, and I mean, Koi is doing the Rift Herald, but you don't really care if you're BLG. Like, the second Rift Herald is certainly a win more Rift Herald, more so than a, hey, I'm going to get some gold, because you don't get the turret place. You don't really get an opportunity to use that in an advantageous position if teams are playing well around their tempo.
And speaking of tempo, BLG trying to use their tempo to take this bottom side, but it will not come out for them. Mid lane being pushed in now by LGD. It's going to be a full back and a mid tower given over by BLG.
Yeah, I mean, LGD will actually find a spot to use the Rift Herald in the mid lane. Just trying to use the fact that FoFo had gone to the bot lane, but mid lane tower tier 1 will go down. I don't think he'll get a second charge here, though, as FoFo should be able to clear that one out.
And we see Breeze up in the top side. Just continuing to press up as much as he can. When he can. I guess is the biggest name of the game here for BLG is taking it back a little bit because of that. Those couple kills given over on bot side. Doesn't really matter all that much, right? 3,000 gold still in the lead. A lot of pressure in the side lane still for BLG. But we're still setting up for Yaji to be the carry here for LGD. He's got 3 kills. He got 6 stacks on the Dark Seal. This LeBlanc's looking mighty scary.
It's the only thing that's looking scary in LGD, which is scary for LGD. Because at BLG, you've got this late game Azir that's coming through already with the Leandries, working up towards the Shadow Flame. You've got Doggo as well, who's now completed the Phantom Dancer, so he's in a really good spot. And also kind of going for that more aggressive build rather than something like the Rapid Fire Cannon. Just the gold efficiency that the Phantom Dancer brings is so damn good. And especially for the Spectral Waltz, just letting you move through units makes it so much easier for BLG's AD carry to reposition properly in these fights.
And it's so scary as well when you get a lot of that damage potential, but as well as the safety that it does provide as well. And I would say, right, LGD themselves have a lot of tools to get onto Doggo. Doggo not having the Tom Kench Devour and things along those lines to save his life this time around. But it means that the positioning is going to be even much more crucial this game for Doggo. And we've seen him be able to pull these off in the past.
BLG just sieging up here. I mean, you've got so much pressure. Actually, Garvey moving up here. But that may have to change here as Reed still has his own TP available. So they don't want to try and overcommit here. Dragon in a minute though, so BLG going to get their top wave in shape. You can see FoFo moving up. He's going to reset then, and they should be able to get pressure on towards that objective once more. But LGD looking for that pick.
The Dredge Line Lollipop not going to connect there, and now Breathe on the backside.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Doggo just kills him. Look at the damage from the Jinx. I heckin' love Arcane. I'm going to say it every broadcast, I swear.
I was like, I mean, we're nearly at season 2.
Hey, it'll keep going.
You know what I love? I heard this new show called Friends. I think that's really good.
Oh, is it a new show? Ah,
yeah. Letting my boomer out here. But for BLG, get mid tower, they get the picks, get control over river. And again, 30 seconds until that dragon. So second dragon in theory for BLG, but...
Yeah, oh, it's the Mega Death Rocket, okay. I didn't see it because it was literally in the wall.
Yeah, it's the Hyper Proc from Breed plus that Super Mega Death Rocket just doing work here. And LGD once more on the back foot. And again, like, they're not getting opportunities to really use Yeji. They're not setting him in a side lane, so then he can try and like find these flank opportunities. BLG are grouping up consistently and getting good vision control, so it makes it very difficult for Yeji to find those moments to get the poke that he needs. So honestly, like, it's kind of a tip for tat here as BLG and LGD both, one, playing around it, and two, not really being able to set up to enable Yeji.
Yeah, second dragon of the game secured by BLG, finding themselves up about 5,000 gold here. Nothing all that much to write home about just yet, but you can see the lead and the strength that BLG possess. As now, talk about strength, they connected on JinJiao. Mega Death Rocket does not connect themselves. Crisp using a lot of his cooldowns for that one.
JinJiao is a brave man to throw out that emote after just getting kind of destroyed there. He had to flash, loses half his health bar, you know, nearly dies, and it's like,
half
oh,
the battle, all right?
you thought you could get me? It's like, what are you on about?
It's half the battle. Keeping the confidence, Dagda. You gotta throw up those emotes, even if it feels like you're getting beat to a pulp.
Well, he's going to have to be confident, because I'm confident BLG can absolutely rip through this Baron if they're given the opportunity. So you can see BLG already setting this up. Breeze, no TP on bot side, though, means that LGD would outnumber them in that situation, which is why we see G trying to commit onto Breeze.
They are putting a lot of damage here. Breeze flashing over the wall. Will have the jump over as well. Does not have the Mega Gnar and does not get out of the pit.
And BLG realized now TP for Garvey is available. Didn't even have to use it, was just going to run across, and now BLG back away. So just nice pick there, and LGD using the fact that they had that summoner spell advantage. Now they get good control over the mid lane.
Got TP coming in from FoFo to defend this mid lane tier 2 as he just completed the Banshee's Veil as well. LGD looking to the top side jungle for some picks with JinJiao, but cannot find it because of Doggo's safe pathing around the horn there. Means that BLG will be safe to defend.
At least LGD managing to get a nice pick and get some pressure. And if they can continue to play like this is what we talked about, like enabling G to actually be a carry here, right? You've got Garvey can't really kill Breathe, but just knowing that Garvey has that summoner spell advantage, like getting more picks, getting more kills, just slowing the pace of the game down, trying to see if they can battle back against BLG. The only thing is, again, like BLG, the late game is still in their favor if they just group up as 5. And when you've already got 2 dragons going their way, third one available in 2.5 minutes, it does become quite difficult to try and find those moments to play aggressive. Even the fact that when you look at like the itemization that Breathe can now go for, like if Breathe starts to build towards like a force of nature, suddenly he ends up like super tanky in these side lanes, really difficult for Garvey to deal with, and G and Garvey won't be able to do particularly much against them. LGD
Wait,
though,
what?
This is a sneaky one.
All right, let's see if they can do this. Y'all gotta stay. Okay, they get spotted out by the Mega Death Rod. That's real loud.
Yeah,
And
I was gonna
LGD
say.
Pop away from the Baron.
You gotta whisper. Ignore the giant explosion that just went off beside you. But,
We're
unfortunate
sneaky.
for
We
LGD.
haven't been seen yet. I promise.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, nice attempt from LGD. The fact that they actually like were kind of going, look, we've got the red white. Let's see what we can do. Otherwise, this game is just going to slip away from them. So I like the idea. They don't actually lose out too much for it. And BLG will just kind of continue to push these sides at the moment. This is just the slow burn for BLG. All they want to do is wait for this dragon.
Yep, just stack up into that soul. Make sure they can get the soul point rather as well to ensure a lot of the strategies and pressure pull work for them, right? Because once you get to the soul point, obviously LGD are forced to fight over it. You don't want to give an Ocean Soul over to BLG themselves when they're this far ahead as well. But then you can always play for BLG around the Baron, around the tower objectives, around the split pushing. So there's so many options for BLG moving forward.
Keeping your eyes on G, just seeing if you can pop in onto Doggo there. But again, like, you've got like BLG playing down to the bottom side of this our lane where they've got all their vision. So for G, it's really hard to get in and actually pick off people, even spotted by Breathe once more. BLG doing a really good job of playing around this Fed LeBlanc.
You get this set up with the tower in the mid lane from FoFo though, as the dragon is spawning in 45 seconds. We'll see BLG moving to the bottom side, get some vision down ahead of the pit, and send Breathe to top side to start split pushing while they get ready for the TP.
Again, keep your eyes on the bottom side of the map. Garvey and G trying to see if they can just kind of sneak in, get in behind the vision line of BLG. But BLG for the moment, they don't really care, right? That you can just force mid priority, force LGD to try and play honest, and then rotate back over. But again, you can see G spending a lot of time here. I don't know if BLG are going to go for this right as it spawns. They may just keep pushing.
They got a whole tower in topside with Breathe there and with Garvey to respond. G on the side, though, will find way. Can't get the kill on him just yet. The Ignite was burned. Decent amount of damage. Doggo forward. One more shot. One more auto. And there's the kill to Doggo.
Yeah, WeiWei even going to go back over towards the scrub to heal up. Did smite just to make sure that he wasn't going to be burst out. Challenges smite, you know, removing some of that burst potential from G. But WeiWei now will move back over. Third dragon goes in favor of BLG. Breathe may not.
does have the jump over the wall, will be out safely there. Needleworks popped by Garvey, but Breed still keeping up the pressure in the top side as Soul Point went to BLG to get the resets coming out and back onto the map.
Now they're going to be able to just kind of set up here for BLG back on towards the top side. The big issue for LGD is because it's a ton of these Ocean Dragons that are stacking up in favor of BLG, the like poke that YG is doing gets a little bit more difficult to just stick around, especially if it can get Soul. But YG, this was really unfortunate. Just misses the distortion because WeiWei had gone for that stun. If that had connected, that would have been the one shot on the jungler, and then maybe this is a very different story. But with the way the cookie crumbles, BLG get the kill, they get the dragon, and now again, as we said, setting up on this top half of the map.
We almost have 3 items for Doggo as well, sitting on the BF sword and the Hex Drinker. See LGD moving into the Baron pit here, trying to get some vision down themselves, make sure that BLG can't just burn it out from under them. Yeah, G still on the aggression, especially onto Crisp, who is now just dead, and LGD pick up the kill for Eric.
And that's what you need to do here as LGD. Just play around the vision. And they have been doing a relatively good job in the mid game of doing it. Not so hot in the early stages, but pick onto Crisp. You know that Breathe is boss. LGD, they're just going to start this one up.
Breathe putting some aggression on Garvey, but that Baron is already started. WeiWei has the smite available. FoFo on the side. All ultis available. Doggo has the Mega Death Rocket. We have everything available for BLG to make this a 50-50. Here comes Breathe. He does not have Mega Gnar. 3,000 health on the Baron. The Baron just burned down. It's taken by Eric. What about the fight after, though? WeiWei's in some trouble, but he gets the kill, and now the resets. Doggo is caught, though. Yeah, G coming up clutch. Breathe with Mega Gnar is trying. Here's FoFo with the big Emperor's Divide. The Emperor is here to stay. FoFo cleans house.
And we got the double TP to the top side here. Looks like BLG trying to see if they can crack open this inhibitor turret. FoFo gonna reset first. Now I imagine gonna TP in. There it is. Keep this turret alive with 30 seconds on Garvey, 10 seconds on the rest of LGD. They could only get this inhibitor. They won't be able to push for more. But just nice job from BLG there. The solo laner's popping off.
The scrappiness. Like, we gotta get a replay of that. That was insanity. Speaking of, we're getting that replay because the fact that FoFo stays alive and is the one to finish them off with Breathe.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. WeiWei goes into the pit here, but because everyone's focused on WeiWei in that pit as WeiWei's getting those resets, Breathe is just about able to finish off the Aphelios, and now FoFo, the Emperor's Divide, sets up beautifully here for Breathe. Not quite able to catch G with it as he's able to flash away, but you can see that smash into the wall, wallop follow up, and LGD disappear before your very eyes.
Communication working out nicely between Breathe and FoFo. FoFo in that video was like, I'm the only one listening to him. Well, hey, the synergy is working out well here, at least in that last team fight. Now we have about 1 minute and 40 seconds until the next dragon comes onto the board. Would be Soul for BLG, which means LGD are going to have to put up a fight. Draw a line in the sand, if you will.
I mean, they've tried already. LGD have continuously looked to see if they can find these fights. Tried to find an angle back into this game, but BLG have just shut them down every time. Now BLG setting up in the jungle here. And again, with 1 minute left, it becomes very hard with Baron up BLG with that late game now on the cards for LGD to try and fight this.
You do have Yaji on the side there. He was on a flank behind Doggo, but did not pull the trigger on it. Continues to look for it as the rest of BLG just move in. He gets spotted out of the flank. They knew something was up, and they will at least get Yaji spotted out of his flank. Still, 4 bodies total together for BLG as the turtle continues.
Eric taking a bit of a hurt here as BLG send a bunch of skill shots his direction.
This is
Now,
so
Breathe
easy
on the
for
side.
BLG, though. Like, they just set up the tower. They've already killed JinJiao, and now they're 5 strong in mid lane.
Yeah, able to just absolutely rinse JinJiao there. Now BLG, looking for it.
He's going for the tank, though. Luckily, it is just the copy there. He still has to go out of the fight. Breathe gets killed by the Stormbringer from Quay. Mid lane tower will go down. Tier 2 falls for BLG, but what is this insanity?
Was that JinJiao's emote? Breeze
I
dies.
think so.
And you see the thumb up coming out from the dead JinJiao.
But LGD can't
What a
fight over
legend.
Dragon here. Like, this isn't a free Ocean Soul, at least not free, but an Ocean Soul given over to BLG unless Quay can magically steal it around the back of the pit. See if he can do it. 3,000 health, 2,000. Quay gets in. He doesn't get the Dragon. Soul goes to BLG, and so does Quay's life.
And with that, BLG putting more and more nails in the coffin of the LGD, but also propping themselves up. With this win, they will guarantee themselves that 8th place slot, will guarantee themselves that they can dodge EDG or LNG. So, going to be very happy with the way this series is going thus far. You can see here, JinJiao does get the hook on towards Chris, but Chris able to flash away. And then, as this starts to go forward, Garvey and G just trying to burst out Breathe, but it actually means that G just gets a good amount of damage off before he's able to back away. Quay will just finish off Breathe. And now I need to see, was it the thumbs up from? Oh, we don't get to see.
We don't get to see
That
it.
was all I cared about. That was all I wanted to see there.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see it. Breathe.
Oh my god.
Looking to see G here as now the Heartbreaker. Oh, the ankle's broken, but not for long. As G takes the boomerang. Heartbreaker out. Oh my god, he's buying so much time. Can we just get yakety sacks already? Can we please? Can we just get it going? Mid lane is being pushed down. G goes under tower here. Breathe. Oh, he breaks his ankles again. He's breaking ankles. Go back. Oh, he's already dead. WeiWei got the kill. Okay. Well, JinJiao is still there, but not very healthy. Big Moonlight Vigil gets Doggo away from the rest of the team. Eric coming in as a defense there for LGD themselves.
Forcing the heal out of Doggo, but BLG will not be denied. Wave in bot side. Ocean Soul is doing work. And BLG now in front of the base.
They literally cannot do anything here. Back to full health is the entire squad of BLG. They're pushing in 2 towers here as well as we speak. And it's a snowball from hell, and it's all BLG colored. As the last inhib is taken down by Breathe. They don't even need it. Look at this minion wave here. BLG looking to crest into the playoffs with some mighty strength for themselves as they take down the last tower, and the last vestiges of LGD are still there. A Shadow's remembrance, and LGD will be wiped off the face of the Summoner's Rift. They will be wiped out of the spring 2022 split of the LPL, and BLG will lock in 8th place.
Congratulations, BLG will be facing up against Rare Adam most likely in the playoff spot now with that win over LGD. And I mean, for them, that's got to be a pretty nice feeling because they have beaten BLG 2-0 in the past. Or sorry, have beaten Rare Adam 2-0 in the past. So for BLG, getting that comfort zone back for them is so crucial for that round 1 of playoffs.
It absolutely is. And being able to see the pieces come together, some of that communication, at least from the outside perspective, be there, be present, Breathe having some say in the fights themselves, but it is a good thing for BLG to kind of pull it together, especially when LGD is throwing everything in the kitchen sink at them, trying to pull out every iteration of the roster here to make something happen, and BLG say, no, we need that 8th place, we need to lock it in.
Yeah, and I mean, confident performance to do it in game 2, right? We thought it was going to be a bit of a slow burner, especially with the composition that BLG had locked in, but feeling very comfortable to take these skirmishes in the early stages, with FoFo having first rotation from mid consistently, and just being able to kind of put LGD in their place. And you'll see it on the graph there. FoFo, good amount of damage, but unmatched compared to Doggo. This AD carry tearing up LGD.
Both games now, Doggo just performing so well. Obviously, the tried and true Aphelios and Jinx combos coming up clutch for him, but it still matters on the execution. We said in this game, right? Yeah, G was looking really strong. It's going to rely on Doggo's positioning, not getting caught out. Ended up not having to worry about it too much, as yeah, G not having the innate focus to go for Doggo, but trying to pick off some of the stronger members, it felt like, when in WeiWei in some of the setup for BLG. But BLG, as we said from the very beginning of this game, right? They were fine sitting back, waiting for things to unfold and capitalizing on the mistakes of LGD.
Yeah, and that was it big time, was just how well they were able to do so. Like, even in the early stages of the game, like, we saw them kind of going, hey, well, LGD has walked over about 3 different wards to invade our jungle. What can we do to set up? How can we try and answer this? And even when you look at the side lane as well, Breathe, an absolute